We've got no water in the house, so we came down to shower at the river. Not a bad way to shower. Oh, what is up, people? We are back. Now, as most of you know, I just got back from Panama doing a border run, and a few of you have asked me to do a video on the process and the paperwork and everything, on how it works and everything else, because one day you're going to have to do that yourself, and it's easier to kind of have a grasp on what it is that you need. Now, the one thing I'm going to tell you before everything is some days will be easier than others. Some days you might just get somebody that's been a hard ass and they just want to make things difficult. They're just having a bad day and they don't feel like dealing with, you know, the tourism BS and the perpetual tourism stuff, and they're just like, no, listen, you're going to do this the right way or you're not going to do it at all. And that's happened to me plenty of times. There was actually one time where I went to Panama to get my stamp. I got stamped out of Costa Rica. I went to Panama. I didn't have the correct paperwork, and they actually brought me back over to Costa Rica immigration. I had to sit there for like an hour while they went through my passport and did all this paperwork, and then they rejected my stamp out of the country. So I was basically never stamped out of Costa Rica, which is really strange. I don't understand how that can work, but you know, I didn't have the right paperwork for them. So they rejected my stamp. They said for 72 hours I can't come back to the border. So I had to go back to my house for 2 or 3 days, come back, do the whole thing again. You know, one day you'll get this chick that doesn't care and she'll just let you through, and then you'll get another dude that just, he's having a bad day, he doesn't feel like dealing with the perpetual tourism, and he just doesn't want to make things easy for you. So that happens a lot in Costa Rica. Just because you talk to one person doesn't mean that the next person is going to tell you something completely different. So just know that, just be aware of that. Now, this is specifically for Paso Canoas because I know this border like the back of my hand at this point. I've never been to Nicaragua border, so I don't know anything about it. I heard it's a lot easier. It's just a lot further from me. So I always go to Panama because it's 2 hours away. Nicaragua is a long trip away from me. So from what I heard, Nicaragua, you can walk in, pay them some money, and walk out. Like, they just stamp you and see you later. Don't quote me on that. Again, just because I'm telling you this does not mean that's going to change later. So right now in Paso Canoas, this is what you'll need. You'll need your passport, obviously. And when you drive in, you're going to park. There's like a parking lot where you pay a guy $1 an hour to stay there, and if you want to stay the whole day or you want to stay 2 or 3 days, I think it's like $4 for a day or something like that. So you go talk to him, you park your car. Now your car is safe. You don't have to worry about it. They close the doors. He lives in an apartment right above the parking garage, so it's always been watched. Very safe, very cool, very cheap. The guy's awesome. So after you park, you would see the building for Costa Rica where you go get your stamp. But first, across the street from that is a little yellow building, and it says Impuestas. Impuestas is taxes. You need to pay your taxes before you can stamp out of the country. It costs $9. It just means that you've been here for 3 months and you got to pay the taxes for the 3 months that you've been here. It's $9. It's nothing. So you go over, you give them your $9 or 5 mil. You get a little ticket that says you paid your taxes. You're all good. So then you can walk across the street to Costa Rica's immigration control, and they will look at your paper, make sure you paid your taxes. Usually to stamp out of the country, it is super easy. They just look at it, boom, See you later. Have a good day. After you get stamped out of Costa Rica, you're going to start walking towards the Panama immigration. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a big truck cleaning. It's like a big car wash for 18-wheelers. I mean, it's like you can't miss it. Right after that, there's a bus station. Now, you walk into that bus station, and this is important. Now, there's a town in Panama called David. That's usually where everybody goes. You know, if you're going to go stay in Panama for a day or two, usually people just go to David. So regardless of where you're going or what you're doing, you need to have a bus ticket from David to San Jose, Costa Rica. Do not try to get it from David to Dominical or Ovita, or it just doesn't work. I don't know why, but they want you to be going back to the airport. Even though you're not going to the airport and you're going to be in Costa Rica for another 6 months or 3 months, it doesn't matter. You have to have a ticket from David to San Jose. End of story. It's 11 mil, it's like $20. You know, it's a piece of paper that you're just going to throw away as soon as you're done with it anyway, but it's fine. Your bus ticket and your passport, and you go to the Panama immigration. Now, one side is entering, one side is exiting. So you want to go to Entrada, entering. Now, this is where things get fun. So basically, you would need a hotel in Panama, you need a bus ticket out of Panama, and I like to have a plane ticket out of Costa Rica shortly after I go back into Costa Rica. So what I mean by that is, if today is Monday, I usually make it look like I'm gonna be in Panama till Thursday, and then I'm gonna be going back into Costa Rica, and when I get back, I'm going to leave Costa Rica and go back to my home country shortly after. So like, it would be like Monday I'm in Panama, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, I go back into Costa Rica Thursday afternoon, and then by like Sunday, I'm getting on a plane and going back to New Jersey. That's just what I tell them. That's just what it makes it. Just makes it look better. They have nothing they can say at that point, because, whatever reason that they care what I'm doing when I get back to Costa Rica, it's a problem sometimes. So I just make sure I have more than I need. So you have your bus ticket from David to San Jose. You have a hotel ticket saying that you're going to be in a hotel in Panama for 3 or 4 days. And then I have a ticket that says I'm going to leave Panama, go back to Costa Rica, get on a flight, and go back to New Jersey. This is just what it is. Also, you need to have a bank statement that says that you have more than $500 in your bank account. Or you have to have $500 in your pocket, which I do not recommend. Do not walk around with $500 in your pocket. But you do need to have a piece of paper that shows a bank account that has more than $500 in it. So this gets a little confusing, but again, I'll just go over it again. You need your bus ticket, you need your hotel ticket, you need your bank statement, and then, like I said, I just have a random plane ticket that says I'm leaving from Costa Rica and going to another country within a couple days of me back in Costa Rica. I know it's a lot of BS. It's all BS really when it comes down to it, but that's fine. Now, you're in Panama. They stamp you into Panama, say, okay, have a good day, enjoy your trip, whatever. Now, whether you stay in Panama or you don't stay in Panama, I mean, there's been times where I've left and I've gone to Pavones. Normally, I just stay at the border in Costa Rica, but I don't really recommend anybody doing that, because if they find out that you have a Panama stamp and you're in Costa Rica, you could wind up in a lot of trouble. So don't listen to me when it comes to that. I just do that because I've done this so many times, and like, I just feel comfortable with it. But don't do that. I suggest just actually going to Panama, enjoying a couple days in Panama, or a day. Because once they think that you're going to be there for 3 days and they stamp you in, you come back the next day and you've got a whole nother crew of people, and they don't really say much. I've had somebody say something one time where they're like, hey, you've only been in Panama for a day, you gotta be here for 3 days. And I said, oh man, my friend that was supposed to pick me up in Panama didn't show up, so I just stayed at a hotel, and he never called me, so I don't know what to do. My hotel is like canceled. I've already canceled my hotel because he didn't show up. So I need to get back to Costa Rica and figure out what's going on. Long story short, you can get away with it. But yeah, so what I usually do is I go into Panama for a day, or stay at the border for a day, for 24 hours or whatever, and then I come back the next morning. Normally it's a whole different group of people. They look at it, they're like, oh, whatever, you're here, you did your border, see you later. They stamp you out. So now you're done with that. You don't need the bus ticket anymore. You don't need the hotel ticket anymore. You just need your bank statement, and then you need another flight out of Costa Rica within 3 to 6 months. Whatever you want. If you want to be there for 6 months, you can make it for 6 months. If you want to make it for 3 months, you can make it for 3 months. If you're only going to be there for a month, then make it for a month. But you need to show a return ticket to your country. You know, a lot of people are like, hey, you know, I don't have $500 to spend on a ticket, even if it's a returnable ticket. Like, I wouldn't be able to just pay, you know, whatever, $400 or $500 every time I need a ticket, even if it's refundable, because how long is it going to be refundable? Like, how long will it be till they actually give me my money back? 2-3 weeks? So to have a refundable ticket is really tough. So there's a website called onwardticket.com. You can go onto that and check that out. For $16 per person, you can have a ticket. They give you a 24-hour ticket. So for $16, you put in your information, you pay them $16, you tell them when you want to leave. They'll give you a 24-hour ticket that you can use now at the border, and it just looks like a regular ticket. I mean, I don't really know if it is a ticket or not. As far as like legality, is it an actual ticket? Is it a fake ticket? I don't know, but that's just what people use. Onwardticket.com, and they just go on, boom, 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 put in your information, put in what day you want to leave, pay them $16 per person, and they send you a ticket that's printable. You print it out. Some people use their phone. I have had problems with that in the past. I suggest printing out the paper. Having it all on their paperwork looks a lot better than you giving somebody your phone and being like, oh, hey, check this out. Don't do that. You go into Costa Rica with all your paperwork, and they should stamp you into the country, no problem. As long as you have all your paperwork, you should be fine. So it's confusing. I've been trying to figure out how to say this and make it really, you know, there's so much to it, and it gets a little confusing, but that is really what it is. You need to pay your taxes. You go to Costa Rica, get stamped out of the country. You walk over to the bus station, you get your bus ticket. You go into Panama, you have your bank statement, your bus ticket, your hotel ticket, and like I said, I just have a random plane ticket that says I'm leaving. You don't really need that, especially if you don't do a ton of border runs, but you look at my passport and it's Costa Rica, Panama, Costa Rica, Panama, Costa Rica, Panama. Eventually they just go, come on, man, like, you need to go back to your country eventually, you know? So I always have that extra plane ticket that just says, hey, I'm leaving here, you know, I'm going back to my hometown. I just got to go back to Costa Rica for some stuff, and then in a couple days I'm leaving. And then once you do your Panama, you stay in Panama for a couple days, or you just stay there for a day, or you do whatever. You come back into Costa Rica, you get your stamp, you have your plane ticket, you have your bank statement, and you're good. That's pretty much it. That's all you need. Bank statement and a plane ticket out of the country. And then Costa Rica should stamp you, and there you go. You should have 180 days in Costa Rica. So it's long-winded. It takes a lot to figure out. If it's your first time, it's a little scary. Even now, with all the times I do it, every time I go into Panama, my heart's pumping a little bit, because I never know what they're gonna say and how they're gonna act and who I'm gonna get. But I'll tell you what, the last couple times I went, it was a breeze. Thank God. Knock on wood, because sometimes it is a pain in the ass. And just coming back into Costa Rica, leaving Panama, I walk into the office, there's nobody there. There's no even border, there's no immigration behind the desk or anything. And I'm kind of just sitting there waiting. And it's 7 in the morning, so people are just getting into work, and this girl comes up, she's like, hola amor, ¿qué pasa? And I was like, oh, she's sweet, okay, perfect. And I'm just like, just going back into Costa Rica, gotta get myself a coffee first though. She laughed and I laughed, and we chatted for a minute. She barely even looked at my thing, just told me to put my fingers on the little finger scanner, boop, 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 okay, stamp you, see you later, easy peasy. So, hopefully you guys will have a easy trip too. If there's any questions about this, because I know it gets a little confusing, but I'll try to make it as easy as possible to understand. So if you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section. Like I said, most of it is all BS, but you gotta do what you gotta do. If you wanna live this life, you gotta do what you gotta do. So anyway, long-winded. I appreciate you guys. I gotta get this, I gotta get some stuff done today. Shorty's in the hospital with her dad. Her dad's not doing too good today, so things are kind of a little weird. But anyway, so I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for subscribing. Make sure you hit that like button, help your boy out. Comment if you have any questions, and I'll try to get back to you. And if anybody else sees a comment that they know the answer to, help a brother out and help him out. Because like I said, I've never done Nicaragua. I've never done the Caribbean border. I don't know what that is like, so if you know any information on that, so just put that in the comments and help some people out that are doing those borders, because I have no information for that. So appreciate you guys, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next adventure.